Hi guys, Catmaster here with another video, and we just started playing in the expedition. Always have to make sure it's not excavation but expedition, but the encounters are like excavation, so it's always, my brain always wants to say excavation. We just started playing in the Expedition League, first 3 hours, engaged a lot with the content, took like 1 hour per act, played really slow and did a lot of expeditions, joked around with chat and played a suboptimal build. I've decided to start with a Chaos Damage over time Occultist, and I'm quickly going to give you my opinion and a little bit of gameplay while we talk about it. So as you can see, I decided to play a Chaos Damage over time, which, because there's a new Chaos Damage skill that we could be playing. I forgot the name, but it looks really cool. And then, of course, there's the Essence Drain Contagion build, which is an evergreen that you can always sort of make to great success. Now, starting from Act 1, you have these encounters where I don't know whether this is going to be the case for the entirety of the league or whether you get more explosives later. I would assume that you get more explosives later, but you get 3 explosives. You can place them with your league key. I think per default it's V, for me it's A, but basically you can place these in order to make sure that monsters and rewards that are on these excavation sites will be unlocked and you get to loot them afterwards. Everything that's highlighted in green is in the area of the explosive, so you just want to make sure that you can, get as much as possible. And the locations that you can place are somewhat limited. I don't know, the first one seems like wonky, but like I think it has to be within the range of the detonator, right? Within like a radius around the detonator, and then every consecutive one needs to be within the radius of the previous one. Right, so I'm going to try and unlock as much as possible here. See, if you play around a little bit between the positions, then you can see you can get more chests. And important to know is that these little skulls are obviously monster packs or monsters that you excavate. I don't know whether it's more than one. And the yellow ones, I believe, are the league currency. These are just regular rewards. There are probably special symbols for like jewelry and stuff. Oh yeah, here, this is a gem reward, right? Or I don't know what the symbol means. But other than the monsters and the specific rewards, there's remnants. Now, remnants come with mods and with upsides. And the upsides and the mods apply to all the monsters excavated from that remnant on. So if this remnant gets triggered by the explosives, all the mods apply to this stuff that gets excavated here, and everything that gets excavated or, unlocked subsequently, right? And so then this applies to the monsters, but they also have the mod from here. They're all immune to lightning damage after this one gets triggered, and then after this one everything has 50% increased magic monsters, and they grant 40% increased experience. And over here, this is spell dodge and attack dodge. We already unlocked that one. We can't reach this one. Maybe we should have started differently. Maybe if we placed this one first, then we can still get both here. Oh, we can't. Oh, we can't. Oh, just most utmost. But then we can put the next one here, and that one is a little bit closer to up there. So this should actually make sure that this one is in the radius. This should actually allow me to get the remnant up here as well. So, honestly, I should probably not even place that one there, but probably here to get more rewards. I'm not sure. Yeah, probably go for these instead. Right, yeah. And then you can detonate the explosives. What's important to know is that if you press Shift and the placement key, which in my case is A, but for most people default would be V. If you press Shift V, you can unplace the last one that you placed. So they're not locked. You can always place them again if you don't like your placement. As you have seen, I mean, we've been playing around quite a bit. I'm going to detonate this now, make sure that I have my infusion up. Right, and just kill everything. I'm playing Bane and Blight currently for leveling. Bane is still super powerful. Honestly, in Act 3, I already did not notice the buffs anymore. I have to say, like, they buff monster health quite heavily early on in the game, and I think I kind of defended that change for a long time before the patch, but honestly now I feel like that was a bit of a mistake by GGG, because they should have made it so that the highest increase of monster health is in Act 3 and then fades down towards the end game there, and it ramps up to Act 3, because right now what you have is just an insanely difficult Act 1. They barely removed difficulty from Brutus and Merveil, but they just made the game so much harder, and I think it's gonna throw a lot of new players off, potentially. Not the audience for the hardcore ARPGs, right? But certainly a lot of players that that just, you know, dive into the ARPG.
Well met.
And let's see. So this is Danik, right? There's 4 different NPCs. The first NPC that you meet is Gwenin. That's the one who offers the gambles, where you get to see the base items and you get to pick the base items without knowing whether they're going to be magic, rare, or unique, or, you know, I think it can only be magic, rare, or unique. I don't think they can be normal, but like the rarity is gambled, is rolled. And that's Gwenin. That's the first one you meet. This is Danik, which is like the League currency vendor, where you get to exchange your artifacts, which are specific for each vendor, right? And so the broken circles are for trading with Gwenin, the black scythes are for Tuyen, and the lesser orders, or the orders, are for Rogue. Well, there's, of every artifact, there is a lesser, a common, a greater, and a grand type, and the currency that you gain with Danik encounters can be used to exchange for any of the other 3, which kind of makes it so that Danik is the pick your reward, right? You can make the Danik currency and then you can turn it into any currency for the other ones. Another quick thing that I want to interject before I explain the vendors over there, the new NPCs, is I'm playing with a no logout challenge in HCSSF, inspired by Zizaran, Mathil, Quinn, and Steel. We decided to play no logout HCSSF. I died once in Mudflats because, yes, the monster life is brutal, and the new monster animations, or what they did, they changed the monster behavior a little bit. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Let me quickly, I don't have space right now. I need to, can you sell here? Oh, you can sell, nice. Okay, so I'm gonna sell this, and then I'm quickly gonna show you each of the traits so that you get a quick idea. If you haven't gone into the league yet, if you can only play tomorrow or next week, then you know how it works all. So Gwenin is the gambler, like I said. You do encounter her first in Act 1, and she allows you to pick for the Broken Circle artifacts. You can pick any base, and then the base is turned into a random rarity. You may notice that even though my character is already level 34, these are kind of low level, and that's because they don't reset their inventory unless you actually pay for it. So each of the vendors doesn't only have their specific artifacts that they want to trade for, but they also have a specific currency, in her case Astragali, which allows you to re-roll the inventory. And so now you can see, oh, now we got all these sort of things. So now I could theoretically pick this bone armor, right? You just see this bone armor, it's blue, it's trash, right? That's why it's called a gamble, because most of the time you get a worthless item. But you do have a chance of getting something really good. So early on, you want to pick the bases here that have uniques that are useful for your build. So early on, you want to pick simple rope, you want to pick wool shoes, or you want to pick, what's the other one? A leather cap, right? Because those can be either tabula rasa or wanderlust boots or a gold rim helmet. So you get the idea, right? You could also do the driftwood ones for a life sprig or something like that if you find them at all. Then the next one I encountered was Tuyen the Haggler, and he seems to be incredibly good for SSF because I got binding orbs off of him already and stuff, and the way that he works is he offers you things here that you might want or not want. I can't re-roll him because I don't have any exotic coinage, which is the currency that you need to re-roll Tuyen's inventory. But say I want these alterations, then they do have a price tag on them, but you never pay the full price. What you do is you kind of adjust the slider and make an offer, and then you see whether he takes it or not. So the price is 32, and I just offer him half. I'm saying like, I'll pay you 16 for those 5 alterations.
A man's gotta make a living.
And he's like, a man's gotta make a living, and he's coming back at me with an offer for 29. So I can't offer lower than 16 now anymore. So I could be like, okay, wait, I'll give you 20 for the 5 alterations.
I don't think so.
And he's not. Okay, and then 25 is his counter offer, and I'm gonna be like, 21 is my last word.
For all you've done for us, I'll give you this one.
And then he gives it to me. So that seems fair, right? I did focus on getting the currency early on from Tuyen that I need to get my character going. That is, I needed the bindings to make 4 links, which I'm going to use soon as I have access to better bases. And I got transmutations in order to be able to craft resistances on my gear. And yeah, overall very happy. I got this talisman early on in Act 1 actually, and I was super happy about the implicit 34% increased damage because that helped a lot with the buffed monster HP in Act 1. And the next one I encountered is Rog the Dealer, and Rog is super interesting, right? Because he allows you to pick items, right? And then he offers you modifications for the items. It's not worth to do that for me because I don't have the currency to re-roll him, and all these items are super lowy. I'm just gonna do it anyway for the video, right? And I'll just buy this shitty wand, right? Nah, it's too bad. I'll just buy this amulet, right? And then he offers you some sort of craft similar to Harvest, basically. In this case, he offers you to re-roll the prefixes 6 times, keeping the best outcome. And the prefixes on this item are just the energy shield and the life. And then we could re-roll the prefixes 6 times and it would keep the best outcome. But then the suffixes are really shit on this. I don't think I want to do this. But you can already imagine if you get an item that is already kind of good, this will allow you to make it even better. And this goes on for a while. Like, I don't know what the limit is, the upper limit, but this can be used a couple of times. So I did this and it re-rolled into higher energy shield and life, kind of better. And then now we can re-roll the suffixes 3 times, keeping the best outcome. So let's do that, just to see. And you get completely fucked now. It's a low-level amulet, it can't roll a lot of good ones. So we're just gonna take the item now. But you can actually come back to him, like, right, it doesn't go away, right? It will always stay up as long as he's willing to offer you more modifications. This can go on for quite a couple of rounds. And so this is a really, really cool feature, obviously. As soon as we get the reroll currency, this is going to be a lot more interesting, because right now these items are garbage. But, yeah. And then I already explained Danik. Danik is basically the vendor that lets you exchange the currency that's specific to Danik, which is, what is it? The Sun artifacts, and lets you exchange this into any of the other artifacts. So if I was out of currency for Gwenon and I was like, oh, I really want to gamble this ritual scepter, right? And now I can go to Danik, and then I can buy the Broken Circle artifacts that I need to have in order to trade with Gwenon. It also says here with Tuyen. What I really miss here is...
farewell.
It would be cool if this would actually show me how many Lesser Sun artifacts I have. Same as when I'm with Gwenon, right? I would like to know how many of the artifacts that it costs to buy something I have available. Similar to how on the bottom here, the rerolling currency, it says main inventory 0, expedition locker 4. So I know I have 4 in my expedition locker and I don't have any here. I wonder if I actually move it from the expedition locker into the stash, whether it shows that I have some in my stash as well. That would be super sick. But
good luck.
I don't know. You can tell me in the comments down below. I don't want to try it out. Is there anything else I wanted to say? Maybe something about the mechanic itself. One thing that I found really annoying, and this is going to be the last point that I want to make because the video is already kind of long. When you walk up to the encounter, sometimes you see already reward chests and remnants early on, and you already want to start interacting with the encounter by placing your explosives, but the game won't let you do so, because you first need to start the encounter by walking up to the detonator in the middle, and that's kind of annoying. basically increased the radius for activating the encounter. That's my other input. But other than that, I have to say, this league has been nothing but excellent so far. I'm sure some people found some bugs, some instabilities, maybe had some problems, but the queues were super smooth. The league feels super good, like it just works. It feels good to interact with everything. There's nothing buggy so far, and stability-wise, it's also been great. So, league start, a solid 9.2 out of 10 points for this league start, I would say. That's my verdict. So, if you like this sort of content and if you want some more well-produced videos in the future, I urge you to subscribe to the channel. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to reading your opinion in the comments. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Wait, where's the button? This one the button? No, this one?